Hi, my name is Shane O'Sullivan and this video demonstrates Flickr Addict, an application for the Palm Pre and Pixi smartphones. Flickr Addict automatically downloads photos from Flickr and sets them as your wallpaper. So here you can see we have some photos that we've already downloaded. You can browse through them. You can double tap to zoom in and pan around. Of course, it also supports pinch and zoom to zoom in and out. So we double tap again to zoom out. If you want to set up a slideshow, just tap the slideshow button down the bottom here and choose how often you want the pictures to change, and it will go through them automatically. This is great for using your phone as a photo frame, especially if you have it hooked up to your touchstone for charging at night. If you like any particular photo, you can just tap the Flickr icon on the bottom right hand corner and it'll take you to the web page for that photo. From there you can leave comments, you can browse other photos by that user, etc. So here the page is loaded up. Going back to Flickr Addict, you can find information about any photo that has been downloaded by tapping the information icon. If you don't like that photo, you can either block it or block all photos by that user. To set a photo as your background manually, you just tap the save icon, and if we go out to the background for the moment, you will see that the photo has now been set in the background. Of course, Flickr Addict will also do this automatically for you in the background as well. There are a number of options for deciding what photos you'd like to download from Flickr. So just tap the preferences button on the bottom, and here you'll see that you can choose how many photos you'd like to download per day. At the moment set to 30. You can choose how often you would like your wallpaper to be changed, from 5 minutes to daily, or to disable the wallpaper changing, you just tap never. You can also choose what time you would like a new batch of photos to be downloaded. We just leave it at 12 midnight here. If you don't want new photos to be downloaded, you can choose disabled. It's also possible to choose whether you would like photos to be centered on your background or stretched to fill the screen, just like in a desktop computer. There are a number of extra options for the more confident Flickr users. Here you can see you can choose to download from Flickr's interesting photos, which are the best photos uploaded to Flickr for that day, and that's the default selection. There's also the Palm Pre wallpapers and iPhone wallpapers groups, which contain photos that are specifically designed to fit your screen. You can choose to pull photos from any number of users. So just tap the add user button there and say I'll just add myself. Tap the check user button to make sure that I typed it in correctly. You can choose to download either my latest photos or a random selection of the photos from that user. You can also either pull from all of the user's photos or from a photo set. So here you just tap the photo set there and choose a photo set to use. If you tap save, you'll see that the user is now added to the list of users. And I'll show you adding a second user here and not use a photo set. So this is just a user whose photos I happen to like. Once again, tap check user to make sure that the user exists. And say we want to use a random selection. Here, if you just swipe across the user, you can choose to delete them. Just tap the delete button and they're gone. And this works for any of the lists that you see. We can also add photos that come from a particular group. A group is a collection of photos that may contain photos from many different users. So here I'll add Kinsale Group, which is a lovely little town in the south of Ireland. Tap check group to make sure I entered the name correctly. And once again, you can have a random selection of photos or get the latest photos from that group. It's also possible to do a global tag or keyword search across Flickr. So just tap the add tag button there, and let's say we want to get photos of soccer. Type in soccer, hit save, and it's done. We can also find photos that were taken near certain places. So just tap the add place. Let's say we want to get photos that were taken near Central Park in New York. Just type in Central Park, New York, and tap the find button. In this case, we found 3 matches that match Central Park, New York. So you can just swipe through them to choose the one which you think matches what you want best. So we'll just go back to the first one and choose that one. Just tap the save button. It's also possible to use your current location as the place where you want to find photos as well. So you can just tap the use my location. There's an extra option here to rotate photos that are wider than they are tall, also known as landscape photos. So we'll just turn that on. And we just choose to download a few less photos per day. Say 10 should do. Now if we go back out to the gallery, we can tap the refresh button on the bottom left to manually update the photos. Of course, if we don't do this, Flickr Addict will of course pull down a new batch of photos at the time of which we chose in the preferences anyway. So here we can see Flickr Addict is downloading 2 photos from the Kinsale group, 2 photos from the Palm Pre Photos group, 2 from a user, 2 photos that were taken near Central Park in New York, 1 photo from the tags, which in this case is just the soccer tag, and it's downloading 1 photo from the interesting photos group. So here the download is just about finished. And now you see all the new photos that have been added to Flickr Addict. If we tap one of the photos down here, which is a landscape photo, you'll see that it has been rotated to fill the screen. And if we set that as the background by clicking the Save button on the bottom left, you'll see that it is being set as the background. And if we go back out to the background for a moment, you see it now fills the screen. Of course, tall photos are not rotated. If you like a particular photo and you would like to have it not change automatically for a while, you can just lock and unlock that particular photo by tapping the icon on the bottom right here. You can also pull down information about when you last did an upload, a download, when photos last changed, etc. To get more information about how to use Flickr Addict, just tap the application menu in the top left hand corner and choose the About option. Here you see it shows you how to use your options, how to pull photos from users, from groups, etc. Tap the gallery option here, it shows you how to browse photos, how to set up slideshows, etc. So, Flickr Addict is now available in the Palm app catalog. There is also a free version called Flickr Addict Lite, which you can download to try out all its features. And I hope you enjoy using it.